The slap echoed through the ballroom like a gunshot. My glasses shattered on the marble floor as 130 wedding guests watched in stunned silence. My daughter-in-law had just struck me in front of everyone because I refused to hand over my apartment keys. What she didn't know was that I had $5.4 million in the bank. And 30 minutes from now, her perfect wedding would collapse. My name is Aurora Hughes. I'm 68 years old. For years, everyone thought I was just a poor widow working at a flower shop. They had no idea I'd been secretly paying my son's bills for 3 years, $162,000 total. And tonight, that secret was about to destroy everything they'd built on lies. "That's what you get for being selfish," Juliet screamed at me as I crouched to pick up my broken glasses. "A woman your age doesn't need so much space." My son Ethan stood frozen, staring at the floor like I didn't exist. No one helped me. The guests whispered and looked away. "You're not welcome here anymore," Juliet continued. "Your apartment would be perfect for us." I rose slowly, feeling every eye on me. That slap wasn't just physical. It was the final betrayal after months of calculated humiliation. I remembered when Juliet first visited my modest apartment 2 years ago. Her face fell. "Seriously, this is where Ethan's mom lives?" From that moment, every visit became torture. "Aurora, you should move somewhere smaller. At your age, you can't maintain this. Besides, Ethan and I need space for kids." The insults escalated. My clothes, my 10-year-old car, my part-time job. Each comment was poison disguised as concern. But what nobody knew was that my late husband, Robert, wasn't the simple office worker everyone believed. We'd made a conscious choice to live modestly, to keep our wealth invisible. "Visible wealth attracts problems," Robert used to say. "Invisible wealth gives you power." As I walked out of the ballroom, their whispers followed me. "Poor thing, she looks so fragile." I sat in my car and made a call I'd been preparing for. "Carlos, it's Aurora. Come to the Royal Oaks Ballroom immediately. Bring the documents. It's time they know the truth." "Are you sure, Mrs. Hughes?" my financial advisor asked. "Once we do this, there's no going back." I glanced back at the ballroom where Juliet laughed with her friends. "Completely sure. 30 minutes. While I waited, memories flooded back. 2 years ago, Ethan introduced Juliet with that nervous smile. From the first moment I knew, the way she evaluated every corner of my apartment with thinly veiled contempt told me everything. Over months, I noticed patterns. Every visit included comments about how outdated everything was. But her eyes always lingered on what mattered. The prime location, the panoramic view, the room sizes. One day I overheard her on the phone. "His mom's apartment is in a super expensive area. If I can get her to move, we could stay there. She's so naive, she'll probably thank us." From that moment, I played along. She performed as the concerned daughter-in-law. I pretended to be the vulnerable old woman. But inside, I was gathering evidence. The campaign intensified after their engagement. Juliet bought brochures for senior communities. "I'm just exploring options for you, Aurora. I want the best quality of life for you." But I was doing my own research. I called her friend in real estate. Investigate this couple. I need to know their real financial situation. What I discovered chilled me. Juliet and Ethan were drowning in debt. Their $50,000 wedding was entirely on credit cards. Their apartment faced evictions. Their lifestyle was a facade built on borrowed money. Everything made sense. The rushed marriage, the insistence I move, the constant comments about my economic vulnerability. My apartment was their lifeline. And what they didn't know was that I'd been secretly paying their bills for 3 years. $4,500 monthly. The credit card payments Ethan thought came from work bonuses were from my account. While Juliet planned to steal my apartment, I was literally the only reason they could afford their wedding. Headlights approached. Carlos had arrived. Mrs. Hughes, are you completely sure about this? I looked toward the ballroom one last time. I have never been more sure of anything. It's time they meet the real Aurora Hughes. We walked in together. The music stopped. 130 pairs of eyes turned. What are you doing here? Juliet shouted. You already left. Wasn't that enough drama? Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for interrupting, but I have urgent legal matters for Mr. Ethan Hughes and Mrs. Juliet Dawson. Ethan approached, his face pale. What's going on? Who is this? This is Carlos Jones, my financial and legal advisor. Carlos opened his folder. Mr. Hughes, you are hereby notified that the financial guarantee your mother provided for your lease has been immediately canceled. Your landlord will be notified tomorrow. All color drained from Ethan's face. Financial guarantee, Mom, what is he talking about? Also, the monthly transfers of $4,500 your mother made to your accounts have been permanently suspended. This includes credit card payments, car insurance, and various expenses. Juliet gasped. That's impossible. Ethan doesn't have a rich mother. Look how she lives. Finally, the guaranteed payment for the celebration has been canceled. The ballroom will demand full payment before guests can leave this evening. The realization hit Ethan like a hammer. You've been paying for everything all this time. For 3 years, Ethan. 3 years. Well, I hope you'd remember the values I taught you. Juliet paced in circles. That can't be happening. You work at a flower shop. You drive a 10-year-old car. Appearances are deceiving, Juliet. For years, I chose to live simply because my husband and I believed visible wealth attracts problems. We were right. The problem just came from where we least expected it. Mom, Ethan's voice broke. Please, there has to be some way to fix this. The way to fix this was not to break it in the first place. Carlos, everyone deserves to know the full truth. Over 36 months, Mrs. Hughes transferred $160,000 to cover his son's expenses. This includes $40,000 for rent, $44,000 for credit cards, $18,000 for vehicle insurance, and $22,000 for miscellaneous costs. A collective murmur swept the ballroom. Furthermore, Mrs. Hughes guaranteed the entire cost of the celebration, $53,000, which is no longer available. Juliet found her voice. This is a lie. No one has so much money and lives like Papa. You just learned a valuable lesson about judging people by appearances. Mr. Hughes, Carlos continued, I must inform you that your mother has amended her will. All assets previously designated for you have been redirected to charities protecting seniors from family abuse. You can't do that, Juliet Green. We're your family. Is that how you describe a conspiracy to strip an old woman of her home? How you justify slapping your husband's mother on your wedding day? Hylas closed his folder. All documents have been delivered. Legal effects begin immediately. Juliet collapsed into the chair, crying, "Everything is ruined. Everything we'd planned." "No," I said. "What's destroyed are the lies, the greed, and the lack of respect. This is what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness." "There is a way to fix it, Ethan," I said, looking in his eyes. "You can learn. You can become the people I hoped you'd be. But that growth will happen without my financial help, without my apartment, and without my inheritance." Curlins and I headed toward the exit, leaving behind a collection of stuffed guests and a couple whose perfect world had collapsed in 30 minutes.
2 years have passed. I founded the Aurora Hughes Foundation, helping over 400 families. My book became a bestseller, and I learned the most important lesson. Sometimes the greatest self-love is walking away from those who insist on hurting you. If this story touched your heart, drop a comment below. Your stories matter. Hit that like button if you believe in choosing dignity. Subscribe for more powerful true stories. Remember, you are never just a bank account. You deserve love without conditions.